I'm ready, bro.
Okay, Zach Mama.
Zach Mama. Don't sweat it, man. It's not my real name.
Oh yeah, do you go by stage name? Why are so many people going by stage names now? Are you afraid of what you're saying?
Yeah, my actual name is Zach Mama, and I was like, that's too long, man. Just cut it, Mama.
Okay, yeah, stage name. You know Tom Papa,
Yeah,
Zach Mama.
that's my.
You guys
that's
could
my
do
husband.
a whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're from Paris, is what you said?
Almost.
Almost?
Yeah, I was born in Paris, and I lived there for 3 years. And then my mom wanted to move out, so we moved to the suburbs, 45 minutes outside, just so we could be in nature. Because 45 minutes of Paris is like an hour from New York. It's like beautiful and in the woods. We lived in the woods basically. It was cows and horses and just 800 people. It was not too
Where
far.
was it? We'll look it up here.
Yeah, it's called Galluis. Galluis. Yeah, they don't even have pictures of where I'm from.
It's a butterfly.
There's nothing there. It's just the woods. There's literally 2 streets. There you go. That's my house. That's where I was born.
It's well, you were born in France.
That's where I grew up. I think that's the bus stop. Yeah.
Bus stop to get out of there, I guess, huh?
Yeah, that's fake flowers.
Ah, yes. So artsy. So artsy.
Yeah, you can go to pictures. You'll see more stuff. This should be a church, and that's it. There was nothing. Yep, the first picture on the left is the church.
Very religious there?
Not at all. No, nobody would go there. I would.
Is
just
that
go
why
there
it's falling apart?
Yeah. Yeah. Everything else is not from my village.
Okay, so none of these
Second
other
picture
pictures.
is too. That's the town hall, city hall.
This is town hall?
Yeah,
it looks like an
also-
apartment?
It's also the post office. It's everything.
Well, it's
Yeah.
a small town, huh?
Yeah, we didn't have a grocery store.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you
We-
grow it all?
What?
Did you grow all your food?
No,
Super old school?
We had to drive like 5 minutes to go to a grocery store,
Okay.
but there's nothing.
Like 5 minutes.
yeah, it's not.
You made it sound like it was
No, it's
5 minutes. It's fine.
isolated.
Right,
like,
right.
As a kid,
Uh-huh.
you have to walk 30 minutes to go to a different village.
I mean, it's a 5-minute walk to Target here.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying.
But
It's
35
isolated.
minutes of walking as a kid, I didn't have a car.
You said 35 or 5?
5 minutes of driving.
Okay, 5 minutes.
30 minutes
Okay.
of walking.
Okay, you're right. Okay.
And when you're a kid and you don't have a grocery store or anything, you can't buy anything. Right?
You didn't have any money?
And I got money from my grandma for washing the bathroom sometimes.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah,
There you
that's
go.
cool. 10 francs. That was like $1.
Do you feel like you earned or got a sense of the value of money and all that jazz? Good work ethic.
No, I don't think so. Because I'm a comedian. I don't want to
Yeah,
work.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, working sucks.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but yeah.
You've never had a full a day job.
No, I've worked. First job I had was to do subtitles for movies.
Okay.
I
I wouldn't quite call that like a day job, like a,
Yeah.
you're not working
It
at
was
the
a gay
supermarket.
job,
Yeah, it was
more
a gay
like,
job. Yeah. It's for
thanks.
gay porn, huh?
Yeah. Gay porn. Just,
Ooh. Yeah. What are the sex noises in French?
I don't know, man. I've never.
You've never seen porn?
I'm pretty quiet.
Okay.
How to.
It's a French. Yeah, be like, oh, yeah, baby, I like that. Just like that. You like that? Stuff like that would be
Yeah.
American. What would they say in
Oh,
in
oui,
French?
oh, oui. Oh, oui.
Oh,
a
so
lot of
yeah.
oh,
Oh,
oui.
yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
And my friend's favorite is plus profond. That means deeper. Oh, plus profond, plus profond.
Okay.
Okay, more profound. basically.
More profound.
Yeah.
Wow. That's,
Yeah.
whew, I'm blushing thinking about that.
Yeah.
More profound.
Yeah. Tell me profound stuff. Yeah. It's pretty sad just watching it like that on the pictures, but it was cool because you're isolated, so you have to get creative.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if anybody doesn't know, we got Zach Mama, French comedian. Would you say that? Although you said you didn't start comedy in France.
I'm actually American now.
Okay, you got
Yeah.
your green card, huh?
No. Passport, bro. I had the green card for 10 years.
Okay.
I'm American now. French American comedian.
Well, I thought the green card was the
No.
it's
You're
your
American,
pass-
so you don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah,
please. I mean, I'm not trying to like no, you're not American. I just want to, I'm trying to be
So level 1
educated.
is getting a visa.
okay. So it's your visiting.
Visiting, you get a visa.
Mhm.
And then after, I don't know, a couple years of visa, some people can ask for a green card as a resident because you've been here for a while.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought green card was residency, or like that was what.
Yeah, no, visa for a long time, then green card residency.
Okay.
But then citizenship, you get the
is
passport.
different.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's
citizenship.
yeah, that's and the next level is prison. I think I don't know.
Oh gosh. Whew, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I met you because you were at the Bad Indian screening over at Mutiny Information Cafe.
Yeah, you might want to explain that to people.
Oh, they know.
They know. Oh, you guys know what the Bad Indian
I'm gonna
mutiny-
have Jeff and Josh on
Oh hell yeah!
on Saturday. So
Cool.
yeah. If you guys don't know, it's a documentary Josh Emerson's doing, enemy of the podcast. I don't know. We'll see friend or enemy on this next recording. You know,
Yeah.
he'll make his decision. Third time's the charm.
Cool.
He can be a little abrasive.
Which
know?
one?
Josh Emerson, the Indian.
Yeah.
Not the white guy.
I just met him and he was really nice to me.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
That's nice that he's nice to you. Yeah, so he did a documentary about booking the first all native or all indigenous lineup at the Netflix Just for Laugh Festival. And it's also about, I don't know, something about spreading his mother's ashes. We'll talk about it next time. Okay. Yeah. That's a preview for the next podcast.
Check out the other podcast that will be better than this one. What?
I don't know. Well, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, you were there and they were talking about how you're doing a documentary about comedy in all 50 states of America.
Mm-hmm.
And how's that going?
It's good. I'm at 34 states. I'm couchsurfing to all 50 states. What would you like to know?
Why?
I think the pandemic. After the pandemic, I was in Hawaii during the whole pandemic.
Oh, wow.
It was nice. I found a job teaching French there. And I don't know. After being on an island for 2 years.
Oh, you were in Hawaii for 2 years?
Yeah.
Of course you want to get citizenship. You're like, this is paradise.
Yeah. After 2 years of being there, I thought, I'd already been in the States for 8 years.
Okay.
I've been here 12 now.
How old are you?
I'm 33.
And you moved here?
When I was 21.
Okay.
I didn't move here until I could drink.
Okay.
Because I knew, you can't get into bars and perform if you're not 21, I think.
It's a little harder, but yeah.
I don't want to have to go through,
it'd be a whole rigmarole.
Yeah, because in France you can drink when you're 18, but you drink when you're 12. But
just like at dinner with your family or something like that.
Yeah, or
you're not like getting wasted at parties. Maybe I guess if you're
we don't really get wasted because we're so used to drinking.
Right.
We don't have to overdo it.
There's such a big thing about how drinking is unhealthy here.
Mm-hmm.
You got all these 12-step programs, AA, all these things about it's bad. Did you get any of that in France too?
Oh yeah, no, it's bad. I grew up with an alcoholic. My stepdad, my mom's boyfriend, was an alcoholic. So, but it's cultural alcoholism.
Yeah, it's like a different.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not as aggressive. Like I couldn't see him drink. I didn't know where he was drinking. I didn't know when
he was like binging or whatever.
Yeah. You're like all of a sudden.
He wasn't doing it at home.
No, in his car.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if it was so normalized.
It wasn't normal. It was
drinking at the earlier age is normalized, is what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But the alcoholism, you didn't see it because he was drinking is so normalized, or is it you didn't see him go?
I think alcoholism is a disease, so you
Sure.
never know what someone is going through. Like I've worked with an alcoholic. I didn't know he'd been saying he hadn't drank in like 8 years, and he was drinking it every day.
Sure.
But nobody could tell.
Okay.
So yeah, people are not as scared as alcohol there than they are here.
Okay.
Where you're like 18, yes, let's drink, but also let's not overdo it. I don't see as many people throwing up on the weekends in Paris than in Philadelphia, for example.
Yeah. Because there's this whole thing about it where it's like you couldn't do it. So now when you can, you're like, we're going hard.
Yeah.
We're gonna fucking do it to the max. And you don't know how to regulate because you've never done it before. So
exactly.
That's these two extremes that we have here in America. I guess we are a nation of extremes.
Yeah. And that's what I like about it, and that's also what I don't like about it. There's things I can get here that I can't get in France. Cottage
fentanyl?
cheese? No, I'm kidding. What?
Fentanyl?
I don't even know what that is. I've never had to try.
It's a drug that's killing people.
Yeah.
Apparently, they're cutting it in everything.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what it is either. We could look it up.
Yeah, let's make this podcast really a happy one. From my village to fentanyl.
It's a narcotic. It's used to treat severe pain. Yeah, it's probably just like a drug that, isn't meant to be like snorted or whatever. So when it's mixed with cocaine and you're doing it, you're getting such a big dose.
Cool.
In a way you shouldn't be, that it's
Yeah.
killing you. I heard
Yeah,
a lot of like
don't
you.
do that.
Well, do what you want. It's America.
Yeah.
And that
Don't do
isn't what you learned.
Right.
I don't
Kind
know.
of.
Kind of, right? Yeah. I mean, that's a stereotype, right?
Yeah. Yeah, stereotypes are weird, but yeah, after 12 years here, I don't know what your initial question was, but
Why did you
oh
want to
yeah,
do
I
the
wanted to.
documentary?
Yeah, after the pandemic, I thought I've been so isolated in one place, far from everybody I knew.
What island were you on?
I was on Oahu,
Okay.
in Honolulu. It was nice,
Sure. It's
but
paradise.
yes, but paradise to me is when you can go and leave. But anytime you're somewhere for too long, you start having to deal with the problems that are
Sure.
there,
Yeah.
you know? So it is paradise. I loved living there, but I want something else, I think. And after 2 years there, I became American, and I thought, oh, I haven't seen a lot of states, you know? I lived in Philadelphia before, New York, New Orleans, and then Honolulu. And I thought, oh, I want to go to all 50 and couch surf to see if I can make it, you know? And it's been 2.5 years doing that.
Make it in what sense?
Like make the whole journey.
Okay.
And because I like improvising, I'm also a jazz musician, I'm a jazz drummer, and I wanted to apply that to comedy, couch surfing, improvising, meeting people, staying with them. Because there's a great French show called J'irai dormir chez vous, and just made everybody horny right now. J
Because of
apostrophe.
just saying things in French.
Yeah. J apostrophe.
Or J apostrophe.
ARAI. I loved his show. He was improvising in every country in the world, going there with no money and staying with people. And he's a really cool guy. He did that for a while. And that was one of my inspirations, where I wanted to just go everywhere and see what it was like to be a comedian in Seattle, what it was like to be a comedian in New Jersey, a comedian in Delaware, whatever.
And how long are you spending in these states?
It's improvised, so I never know. The first stop, it was in Seattle. Stayed for a week. It went well, so I stayed another week. And then a friend of mine was in Portland, so I went there because it was so close. And I just stayed there for a week. Then I went to LA, and the first time in LA, I didn't know anyone, so it was not cool. So I stayed 4 days, and then I found somewhere in San Diego, stayed with a friend. His place was so dirty that I stayed for 2 days, and that was too long. Then I went to Vegas. Same thing. You just keep going, meet people, talk to people, and yeah, I get.
So what does going well mean? Like it was a nice place to stay and you hit up some mics, or
The shows went well.
okay. So you're getting booked on shows there.
Yeah, I mean, initially I wanted to do mics the whole year. The first year, I just wanted to do mics and get booked on shows from doing mics.
Sure.
And after a while, where you're like, cool, I've done enough mics where people know you, you can just hit them up and get spots.
Sure.
Usually unpaid spots because it's last minute.
Mm-hmm.
And then after a while, get on better shows, and then you get to open for people that are bigger and that are known. I've started opening for Tony Woods, which helped a lot. He's Dave Chappelle's mentor in DC. Then he took me to Baltimore. I did the DC Improv. I went up before Earthquake on Tony's show, which was awesome. And then did a bunch of shows with him in New York. We did the Mothership in Austin, Texas, 5 nights. That was really cool.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah. So it just from improvising, from really going to open mics every night at the beginning, and just see where it takes you. And it's been 2.5 years just doing
And
that.
you've met some. I mean, those are some pretty big name people. I mean, Earthquake's known. He's been around.
Yeah.
How did you hook up with that guy?
Again, Tony
He was just on shows that you were.
With Tony Woods, you mean?
Yeah. I mean, how did you meet these guys in general?
Well,
Just through mics?
it's just an accident. I went to DC, and a friend of mine saw that I was in DC, and he reached out. He's a guitar player, and he reached out to me and said, "Hey, man, I have a concert every week, but we do comedy in between sets. Would you like to do a spot?" He doesn't really understand the vocabulary of stand-up, so he just said, "You want to do the show?" And I said, yeah, cool. But he introduced me poorly, Like they did their concert, and then they were like, "Hey, I know this guy. He's a great drummer, but he's going to talk to you."
Yeah.
And nobody knew it was going to be comedy. It wasn't advertised, and the musicians started walking in for the jam session afterwards, and they started tuning their instruments next to me while I was doing
While
my
you were
set.
talking?
Yeah.
Oh God.
So you had guitars, saxophones, everybody talking to each other like, "Hey, we want to play this song. Hey, yo, how you doing?" And it was a horrible set because nobody was paying attention. It was TVs on, people yelling at the basketball that was going on. A lady in the front row that was like, "What is he talking about? Why is he saying those things?" And then I posted on Facebook, "Yeah, I finally had one of my worst experience,
Finally.
Finally, it was like, I've had bad experiences, but that was like the one where nobody cares that you're there."
Yeah, I'm sure you get a lot of attention being like, "Oh, this guy's from France." Here, you're already like,
Yeah,
you're
I mean,
already
even
you have like a mystique about you.
even an open mic where people are like, "Yeah, this guy is French." Everybody stops.
Yeah,
and
they
starts
want to see what you.
listening.
Yeah.
That's why you have to deliver. Otherwise, you're like, "Oh, France is actually shit."
So you do feel a pressure for that, which is good, I guess.
Of course, it's great. Yeah, because when everybody stops and talking and starts listening to you, and they're like, "We'll give France a shot through you."
Okay, you think
That's kind of like how it is,
you're representing the. Yeah, okay.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I guess so. Because
100%.
as a local, if I saw that, I'd be like, this fucking guy.
Yeah.
He just gets to go up there with an accent, be charming
Yeah.
for a couple minutes, and then he fucks off.
Yeah.
So
No, I
don't get to do any stage time.
No, I want to have because every comic is like, "Yeah, well, why does he get to go up? I've been here more," and I want to meet the opposite of what they expect. Like, be like, "Whoa, that was actually cool."
Yeah.
And so I posted on Facebook, "Yeah, I finally had one of my worst experiences on stage where the introduction was bad, the sound was bad, the crowd was bad, the venue didn't give a shit, the musicians were tuning next to me. I was like, it was useless." And then the guy who booked me replied on Facebook, "Hey, I thought you had a good set, man, but the only person that actually understands how to work this room is Tony Woods." And then another friend texted me because he saw that comment. He said, "Hey, bro, Tony Woods comes to my concerts every week. I can ask him if you could have his number." And I said, "Yeah, let's do it." It's just
That's all just working out for
it's
you,
just
buddy.
random,
Way to go. Yeah.
And then I reached out to Tony, and the next day he was like, "Come play pool at midnight."
Ooh, pool.
Yeah.
Dang.
So we played
Scared
pool.
at all?
No.
Go play pool with some random dude you just met? Like,
it was great.
Okay, well, all right.
It was great. It
Adventurous
was like
guy.
a late night spot open until like 2 in DC. And it was my second day in DC. And we played pool. Then the next day he came to my show and he heard one of my bits about the N-word, where it was like, "Why is he saying that?" And he didn't get it. And then the white girl at the bar wanted to explain, but there's a word she couldn't say. And she was like, "He's saying," he was like, "Oh," and then he started laughing, but like 10 seconds too late. And I was like, that's weird, a weird laughter. I don't get it. And then I got off stage and he was like, "Yo, bro, that joke was great, man. You want to open for me in Baltimore this weekend?" And that's how it just started.
Way to go, bud.
It was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you're taking risks. You're doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
and
that
you
was
gotta
like 9 months in or 8 months into doing that documentary.
And you're going around with the camera, or how you?
No, I wanted to film everything with my phone.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And
Do you have like a whole rig set up for your phone?
I have
or is
everything,
it just
but really the best footage is the one you don't expect. Because when you go out with a camera, people start acting differently.
Sure.
But when you put your phone out like this, and then you just show them and ask them, "Is it cool if I use that footage?" And like, "Yeah, cool." So yeah, you get them to sign a little agreement.
Yeah, so
letter.
you have you have an NDA, non-disclosure.
No, that's not
a
an
release,
NDA. It's
a release or whatever.
Release form. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's been great. And then after meeting Tony Woods the next week, somebody booked me on a show. I opened for a guy that I just reached out to, Sean Latham. Shout out, love him. I met him in Phoenix. I just went to Phoenix randomly. I didn't have any plans, didn't know anyone. I stayed in an RV in the ghetto there. Somebody got murdered one of the nights I was there. I heard the gunshots and shit. And I went to Phoenix and I looked at the schedule of every club, and Sean Latham was playing at the Improv. And I DM'd him on Instagram. "Hey man, you don't know me. I'm doing this. Would you like to do an interview for my documentary?" And he said, yeah, absolutely. Also, I got an extra spot because somebody dropped out if you want to do a spot on my show. Cool. So I did that. And because I delivered that night, he got me booked in Dayton, Ohio. He was like, yeah, I can't do it. You want to do it? I was like, yeah, cool. And Tony Woods knew I was going to Dayton because I told him. And he was like, I got a surprise for you there. I was like, okay. And then the last night, Dave Chappelle's sister was at the show. And she took me to Dave's house afterwards.
Oh my God.
It was like,
that
what?
is so
Yeah.
nuts, man. You've been on, this is a ride, dude. This
It
is
was
crazy.
awesome, yeah.
Did you get to shoot anything there? Or were they like, no?
No, I knew not to film there because I don't
Yeah,
want
you
to
don't
be.
want to. Yeah, you don't want to be that guy.
When you're around people that are like famous and everybody wants their attention, the last thing you want to do is film, take pictures.
Yeah, be that.
Yeah,
that
just
guy.
be in the moment. I knew that from a lot of friends that I've met, famous people. Just be in the moment, you know, enjoy it. And then it was just a few of us, but then the Wu-Tang Clan came.
Oh my God,
And I was like,
dude, this is fucking crazy.
Yeah, that was a cool night.
So you're getting all this clout from being like, I'm from France and
Yeah.
I'm a comedian.
And bro, I used to wear stripes on stage, but Dave Chappelle looked at
Like
me and
fucking
said,
Where's Waldo?
yeah. But like,
Do you
no,
have an
just,
Instagram or where can I see a picture of your?
yeah. Instagram, Zach Mama, ZACHMAMA. And I used to wear stripes if you go down, down, down. Nope, before that. Before.
No,
Yep,
there's
there you
stripes
go.
right there. Yeah, I saw him. I saw him.
And Dave saw me at his house with stripes and he said, you're French and you're wearing stripes. And just the face he made, he was like
Marcel or whatever.
yeah. He was like, bro, it's been done. Like, you
It's
don't
like
need
tech.
to. I was like, got it. And after that, I stopped wearing stripes.
All right.
Yeah.
It's cool that he's been an influence on you.
Yeah, hell yeah. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe I should wear stripes.
No,
I don't
dude,
know.
I
But
don't
yeah,
know.
see,
I
that's
don't
me
know
and Tony Woods.
Yeah, this is Tony Woods?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Shout out to Tony.
Yeah, that's very
Go
good.
see him. I love him, man.
Yeah, how long have you been doing stand-up?
It's been officially 35 years, bro, but I'm 33.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when did you start getting on stage and telling jokes?
When I was 3, my grandma had a little theater in Paris.
In that little town?
No, in Paris.
In Paris.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I posted a few clips the other day. I don't think it was in my stories.
And then you did stuff with Sam Talent?
Yeah, I did his comedy show in
The travel channel, the travel show?
Yep, the travel show in Paris, White World. I'm in the Fat Flaneur, episode 1, 2, 3 in Paris. Check it out on YouTube.
All right.
It's real fun.
Yeah, dude, you got a lot of
I talk for 0.3 seconds in it, so
well,
if you don't like
Sam's a
me,
big personality.
check
Yeah.
yeah, Casey Rocket. That was cool.
Well, I mean, I wasn't trying to be a dick about it or whatever, but I was like,
Dick about what?
I think you get a lot of well, my first thought was like, oh, this guy just says he's from France, even though he started doing comedy here.
Right.
But you get a lot of play being like, oh, I'm French, you know, and it's like, you never
I
did
mean-
comedy in French.
Yeah, I mean, I do comedy in French too. I just don't like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
It's not the same rhythm.
you don't know Chappelle there.
Dave Lachapelle is. That would be his French name. David Lachapelle.
Because you're not getting on big shows there and like the most popular with the
Right.
most popular comedians.
No, I just think it's I haven't found my groove like in France,
Okay.
and I feel like here like it's just like music. I lived in Philly. I played drums in a black church as a white guy from France, you know.
hmm
I didn't fit like musically. I didn't know what to do, but they let me. You'll get it. You'll get it one day. And then I was like, oh, cool. I'll never get it. But it felt like I was going to. I'm kidding. I felt like I was getting it. And then I moved to New York. And playing jazz in Philly versus playing jazz in New York is not the same. So you're kind of learning how to adapt. And then
It's like regional almost. There's like different style.
they don't play the same songs. It's not the
Well,
same place. You don't play the beat the same way because it's different.
Yeah,
you
what's
know?
different?
In New York, you play with international people. In Philly, you just play with Philly people.
Okay.
In New York, you can play with people from Chicago, from Tel Aviv, from Germany, wherever, you know?
So is it like you're just playing more of like a basic rhythm to like
It's
kinda,
not really that. It's like is so much more information coming in at the same time when you're playing than in Philly. And then you go to New Orleans. And when I went to New Orleans to play drums, they were like, whoa, slow down, man. We don't play that fast here.
Oh, okay.
Here it's about dancing, having fun, and smiling. So you better smile, man. Because New York, everybody's very serious, you know.
Yeah, they're like, we're
the shit.
yeah.
Yeah. And in New Orleans, whoa, make me dance first, you know?
Yeah, you want to feel it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And if you put a New Orleans drummer that has never played in New York, very different. You have to adapt all the time. So comedy in France isn't like comedy in the States, but
Sure.
also comedy in different states isn't the same. And in Paris, it's the same. You can play in a place in Paris and then go do another spot where the neighborhood is completely different and people don't laugh at the same stuff. So you have all these things that you don't know until you're on stage, really.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same with comedy, you know?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I did, you know, I grew up playing the saxophone and the guitar and stuff. So, I mean, I was always thinking that, you know, learning music and the beats and the, you know, the rhythm and counting timing, you know, I mean, counting music just like laughter. I think there's a timing to it. You got to be able to feel it. You got to, you know, and it takes practice.
Yeah.
So, it is interesting that it be like that regionally.
I think everything is connected. It would be the same with food, you know? Imagine you're doing a comedy show in front of a crowd that you don't know and they don't know you, right?
Yeah, most of them, yeah.
That's most nights. Now imagine you're cooking for people who are coming to your house. You don't know them and they don't know you. And you're like, I'm at a steak. And they're all like, oh, we're vegans. Oh. You have to adapt because they're here to eat, right?
I mean, I'd be like, sorry, then I guess you don't like what I made. Is that
right? But the goal is to make them like it. But yeah, a lot of times you're like, cool, is there steak? And they're all like, mm-mm. So you stay on stage.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I guess my thing would be like, I guess you don't like what I made then you don't like my style of comedy because this is it. I make steak. That's what I do. Like,
there's this vision, but there's also the vision where you're like, well, let me try to make you like something.
Right.
Okay, so my steak is not working. There's one time I did my favorite bit in France. I did my favorite bit in France in Lyon.
And it's an English bit or is it a French?
You're doing it in French? English. I'm doing it in English because I got hired by someone who was like, we're doing an English show once a month. Could you be the headliner? I was like, yeah, fuck yeah. And I did my favorite bit at the beginning because, you know, I thought start strong, boom, and then do whatever in the middle and finish even stronger. And my first bit is nothing. Nobody understood what I was talking about. And then I realized it was French people with their dates from Eastern Europe. So they were translating the joke to each other and they couldn't relate to what I was saying.
Yeah, they're totally not in the moment. I mean, yeah, it's not a good
situation.
Everybody's
talking, and the host, the introduction was the worst because he couldn't speak English well, but he was hosting. So I was a secret headliner. So nobody knew I was coming. And nobody knew me anyways, but nobody knew the guy didn't know was coming. Secret headliner.
Yeah.
Sold out show. And the guy gets on stage. He's a French guy. He had a beard and he looked old. And in his head, he looked like a rapist. I don't know why. That's what he said. So he goes on stage and he goes, I know what you guys are thinking. I am not Zach. Nobody knew I was coming. So the first thing they say is like,
yeah, there's already a disconnect. They can't understand.
And then the second thing he says, and also, I'm not a rapist. And I was like, okay, so now they think I'm a rapist, you know? Wherever this Zach guy is going to come and it's not true.
Sure.
You know?
I'd hope so.
It is not true, 100%.
Okay.
It was consensual. But, and then that's the second part. And the third part is he's like, okay, my jokes are not working. Nothing he said worked because he was bad, but also I don't think they understood what he was saying. And then he goes, are you guys ready for your headliner? Are you guys ready for your headliner? Instead of going like, here he is, Zach. He just said, and left. He put the mic down on the thing and left. No music started. The lights were on. And I just looked and it was like, is it my turn now? Because I couldn't see. I just heard, you ready for a headliner? And then silence. I was like, where's the Zach mama? You know? No, he just left. I was like, cool. All right. So that's how I started. I was like, okay, that was a weird intro. And they were like, yeah, what's up, rapist? And I was like, I'm not, this is not.
Yeah, you really, I mean, I'd be self-conscious about that as well.
100%. Why would you, so, and I tried my first joke And
You didn't acknowledge it at all. You're like, hey,
of course I
thought
did.
it was
I
weird.
mean, I was also like kind of like shocked that that was happening. There
Yeah,
was
yeah.
so much going on at the same time. And I was like, yeah, it was weird. I don't think, but I don't think they understood what I was saying anyways.
Yeah, yeah. So it just wasn't a good.
So I started speaking French, but the owner was like, hey, I hired you to do English.
Okay, interesting.
Okay, let me just talk to people. So I just told a long story that I've never told and would never tell again because it was bad,
So the guy yelled at you from off stage, being like, "Hey, talk in English."
I can't remember what it was.
I was
but
like,
it
"How did you get this halfway through your set or whatever?"
I can't remember. Maybe I made it up in my mind to just keep going, but when you're on stage and you're like nothing is going right, and I was like, okay,
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't know it on that big of a scale, but
Yeah.
because these are like theater shows, I'm assuming.
No, it was 70 people. It was a small club with like 2 levels. It was really
I mean,
nice.
it's like a theater.
Small theater.
Okay,
They
yeah,
call
small
it
theater.
Café Théâtre.
Yeah, it's not like the back of a brewery. That
No,
would be
no,
like
no.
what it'd be like here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was a really nice place. Actually, I loved it.
Oh yeah, sounds nice.
I would love to go back, but I recorded the whole set and I'll never watch it again.
Yeah, so going back to you saying you've been performing your whole life is what I was getting from you
Yeah,
saying you were on stage at 3.
Yeah, I mean, I don't count it, but
Was your family in theater or like
yeah, my
the
grandma
performing
was.
arts?
My grandma is the voice of the blue goose in the Aristocats.
Okay.
Yeah, in French. She was the dub. Do you say dub? Dub
Yeah,
artist?
dubbed. Yeah, they dubbed it.
She was the dub voice. She was
Okay.
dubbing. That was what she did for a living.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I have an uncle that's an actor too in France. A cousin that's an actress. A lot of cousins actually that are actresses, but nobody did stand up, and that was my dream. It was like the thing I wanted the most. It was to do stand up. When I was 15, I went to a comedy show in Paris to watch a guy who stole 80% of his material. We didn't know back then, but I was like, this all sounds very familiar.
It's not the Seinfeld of
No, that he
France.
stole 100%.
Did
No.
he? No.
A lot, yeah.
Gad?
Yeah. Have you heard of Copy Comic?
No. I saw his show on Netflix, and that was the only reason I knew who he was.
He stole one of the jokes in there was stolen from Seinfeld, and well, go to YouTube.
Lui, c'est George Carlin. Avec Richard Pryor, ils sont considérés comme les 2 plus grands humoristes américains.
Could you translate?
More than
Well-
happy.
Pick it out.
I bet you say that sometimes, don't you? Once in a while, you say to somebody, "Oh, I'd be more than happy to do that." How can you be more than happy?
He said, I'll be more than happy to help. More than happy. How can he be more than happy?
To me, this sounds like a dangerous mental condition.
I cannot even imagine how it would look like to be more than happy. Like,
We had to put Dave in the mental home. He was more than happy.
what happened to this guy? He was happy, and he got a great news, and he became more than happy. And then we lost him.
But I also like to know
Dang.
that I can come back.
Yeah, there's a lot of those. There's like 30 minutes of those. But-
Dang, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I think the thing that was misunderstood by French comics when stand-up started in France, it's not even 15 years old there,
Okay.
right? Here it started in the 50s. Lenny Bruce, even...
Well, then you must have started if you've been doing comedy for 33 years.
I helped Lenny Bruce to start.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, in
Back in the
France.
50s. Yeah, he's a good guy. But do you know anybody before Lenny Bruce, or is he the first official?
I mean, I've read a couple different history of comedy books. I mean, people say he's like the guy who did the modern the modern father of
Right.
what stand-up comedy is. Yeah,
And
like talking about personal stories and making that funny.
exactly. It has to be about you, but there was a misunderstanding in France, or maybe it's how they thought, oh, it's easier if we translate. You know, it's like taking a song. There's a lot of American songs that we just translate to French, and boom, you make money, you pay for the rights and whatever, nobody knows. But a lot of American songs were taken from France too, you know?
Sure. Elvis is a big thing where, back in that day, everyone recorded each other's songs,
And
and
there's-
whoever hit first, then that
And there's
kind of what
cover
you got known
bands
for.
too,
Yeah.
but it's not like that in stand-up.
Sure.
So a lot of comics in France were like, "Oh, it's like cover bands. We just take their
Okay, yeah.
stuff."
It
And
was a misunderstanding of.
I don't think it was a misunderstanding. I mean, it can be. There's a gray area. It's never 100% black
sure,
or white.
sure, yeah. Okay, yeah.
So a lot of people thought, cool, I'll just take this, translate it, and make it mine. But if you look at French comics from now they learned the lesson. They don't do this shit anymore. But they already got famous, so good for them. And now I don't think you can't do it. And
So is Gad still doing?
he's still doing stand-up, yeah.
He's still doing other people's bits, or is he doing his own stuff now?
No, now he's writing his own stuff, but it's not as good.
Wow.
What? How? Why?
You learn from the best.
But
well, you think.
If you look at it, in cooking, music, designing, you can steal from everybody and it's okay, right? Painting.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've heard people say, you
Is it
you
Picasso
steal
who
from,
said,
you steal. Yeah, I think it's a Picasso quote.
Yeah, great artists steal.
Yeah.
So he stole. And he's
I guess, yeah.
But instead of it doesn't work, it has to be your own stuff,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I didn't want to be influenced by that really, so I thought I'll go to the source. I just wanted to learn from people who know. But there's Americans that steal too.
Yeah, sure. I'm not, for sure. Plenty.
Don't steal. Something fell on my thing, on my lip. Maybe it's my own. I don't know how it would go, but yeah.
Are you okay?
Is there a leak?
I don't think so, but I'll check.
Yeah, maybe it's a sign from Gad.
Aside from Gad.
It's a sign from Gad, Elmaleh. But yeah, I don't blame him because a lot of in music we say that imitation is the highest form of compliment.
Flattery, yeah.
Yeah, or flattery, or is it flattery?
I've heard the saying with flattery. I think it's to do with imitation is the most sincere form of flattery.
Yeah,
is the phrase here.
And that's you do in jazz at the beginning. You imitate your heroes, and then you try to find your own voice.
Yeah.
And then break away from what you are. It's always like reinventing yourself. So it's hard, because I don't know. You hear so many jokes that sometimes you're like, oh, is it mine or is it something I heard?
Sure.
So that's why I've always recorded everything. Like always tried to record. Like that's why I have movies from when I was 10, and I love it. I would send myself CDs in the mailbox with the stamp and not open them. So when you play them, you're like, oh yeah, that's a CD from 2000 whatever, and that was mine.
You would not play them?
No, because when you to protect your material, when you don't have money, you send yourself a CD from back when. Imagine you record something in 2006 and you were like, this is mine. I want to prove it later.
On stage.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you want to prove it's yours later. If somebody steals it, you know it's not ready yet. Send it to yourself. You don't open it. You have the stamp from the post office that says 2008. Then you open it and you play it and you're like,
and then you can be like, this is mine.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're always very paranoid about people stealing your stuff. Then.
Not paranoid. I just know.
I mean, that seems extreme.
Well, no, I just knew that people steal movies, people steal ideas, people steal books, and I just the first thing I thought about is how do you protect yourself from theft? Even if it sucks.
Yeah, I was gonna say my first thought was like, I'm not doing anything good enough for people to want to steal.
Of course, yeah.
Of course.
But I was young, bro, and I thought. Yeah, this is great.
Okay.
It's not.
Okay.
But I knew that's why some jokes I post on Instagram before they're ready, just so I have a boom. It was posted then. That I wrote that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you say you're doing like personal stuff, or I guess you're talking about being for everybody or trying to make everybody laugh? I mean, would you say you're doing more specific stuff to you that you find is more universal, or how are you approaching joke telling?
So I would do the same joke, but present it differently depending on who the audience is.
But what's the joke about? About something that happened to you in your personal life, or like an observation you made about
going to Auschwitz with my girlfriend.
Okay, yeah, very personal to you.
Yeah,
and so if you were in Hawaii, you would tell that differently.
Yeah, because they're so far from Auschwitz that a lot of them are like, I'm not saying Hawaii specifically, but some places they don't even know what you're talking about. Why would it be scary to go there? You know,
Mm-hmm.
my family's Jewish. They left the States in 1940. You know, guess why? But you know, so talking about going to Auschwitz with my girlfriend, I won't say the whole bit.
No, but yeah, just how would you?
It's weird, right? It's a weird feeling. Like, why would you go? Why? You know.
Mm-hmm.
So trying to make that create that tension. Like in France, if you tell that story, they don't want to hear about it. They're like, it's over. Stop talking about this.
Okay.
Right? If you talk about it in Hawaii, they're like, bruh, just chill, man. There's the sun. There's the you don't need that pressure.
There's no cultural.
No, they don't feel the tension. And my whole thing is about creating tension and releasing it, because that's what you do in jazz too. That's why jazz is sometimes it's like whoa, and boom, boom. Tension is released. We go back and we keep. It's called forward motion. Like you keep the motion, you keep the thing flowing by creating tension, releasing it, and you keep going.
I've seen La La Land.
I haven't seen it because I refuse to watch those kind of movies.
A movie about jazz you refuse to watch?
Yeah, I don't need to. It's you know, when
you're like, I am jazz.
No, when people are like, oh, I have a different take on your life. You want to watch it? I'm like, I'm good. You know?
You don't like the documentaries about stand-up?
I love documentaries about stand-up, but a movie about stand-up, I don't.
Okay, interesting.
So. Yeah. Documentaries are great. I love documentaries
not a lot of movies about stand-up. There's some, but not a lot.
Yeah. There's... Which one?
There's this one that Tom Hanks did. I can't remember what it was called. Punchline or something. It was a while ago.
Can you find it? Or is it that bad?
I mean, it's not that bad. It's not as most popular. Yeah, it's called Punchline, and it was in 1988.
Really?
Yeah.
It was bad? Oh, yeah, it looks bad. Can you look at with the story? What's the plot? I think you could go to Wikipedia.
Oh, you want to read it? I was going to do
like the
Punchline is a 1988 American comedy drama film written and directed by David.
It go down, man. There's a plot. Boom.
Okay. Well, you know, this is a audio podcast as well, so you have to,
cool. Hell yeah.
You know, to read it for.
I didn't know, man. I thought it was just for people who can't see.
It's for everybody. Yeah. See, it's kind of a long one. It's a long one to read here. You want to read it out loud to the viewers?
No. Okay. Just the first paragraph.
Stephen Gold is a struggling medical student who moonlights as a stand-up comedian. It quickly becomes evident that he is lousy at the former and excels at the latter. And yet, when he is given a chance at the big time, he cracks under the pressure. Lila is a dedicated housewife who yearns to be a comic. She has the raw talent but does not have the command of the craft that Stephen possesses. At first, Stephen doesn't give Lila the time of day. One evening he is derailed by the unexpected appearance of his father and brother, both medical professionals. Lila's unfailing support wins Stephen's affections and he teaches her the fundamentals of stand-up comedy. Lila...
I'm watching this tonight, bro.
Oh, see? It sounds great, huh?
No.
It sounds good now.
It sounds like yesterday for me. That's cool. See, that's why I don't watch movies about jazz. It's the same thing with stand-up. I'm like, cool, that sounds...
Just no interest, huh?
Was it good?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, you haven't? I thought you had. Okay, my bad. Lost in translation. But look, it cost 15 million and they made 21. Aww.
I mean, it's 6 million.
That movie bombed, bro.
I mean, you know, like I said, it wasn't his most popular, but
it only hurts when you laugh. Wow. I'm 100% watching this tonight.
Well, you can send me a text. Let me know whether you liked it.
Yeah. That's just, I want to learn something.
About?
They always have you seen the documentary about the Comedy Store on Amazon Prime?
Maybe. When it was a couple years old?
No.
No,
it's pretty recent. There's Jim Carrey in it.
Then no, I haven't.
Jim Carrey in it, and not everything is great in it, but when Jim Carrey's talking about when he decided to stop doing imitations, impersonations or imitations or both?
Impersonations is what
impersonations
we would say.
Like he stopped doing it, and Mitzi was like, "You should not stop doing it. That's what you're good at." He was like, "No, that's not me. I want to find the real me." And then he was like, "And then I bombed for 3 years, like so hard." And he would explain how. That was incredible. I loved that part. So I might learn something. I always, I'm a student of life. I think.
The craft, yeah.
Not just the craft, just life, because art imitates life. And I feel like if there's one thing I can learn in this movie, I'll watch it.
Sure.
But La La Land, I can't watch this shit.
Why not?
I don't like musicals. It's a musical, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't watch a musical.
Why are you shut down to a musical, but you're open to comedy stuff?
Hell yeah.
Why?
I don't know, man. It's like you offer me chocolate, I'll eat it. You offer me an oyster.
I did offer you a cookie I made earlier, and you denied it.
Yeah.
Which is the most insulting thing you can do in America.
Well, you can explain to people why.
Go ahead.
I was water fasting for 7 days, and I can't eat solid food.
I mean, you could, but
I can if I want to shit for 4 days straight. But I'm French,
possible.
so I'm not fully straight. Yeah. I had to, because otherwise he was going to do it. Right?
call you gay.
Yeah. Everywhere I go in the States, they're like, oh, you're gay. I'm like, no, I'm not.
And you've been hanging around with black comics a little too much.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
But no,
I think it's a thing in the culture, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, Mexicans call each other gay all the time, though.
Oh,
too.
really?
Oh, yeah. I had 2 guys on last week that have definitely called me gay plenty of times.
While they were sucking your dick or not?
No, just breaking my balls.
Hell yeah. Oof. That hurts. But yeah, I was fasting for a whole week, and I would love.
Why? Because you wanted to lose weight.
After that last tour, we drove, and I say we drove. I sat in the car because I don't drive, but it was 3 of us in the car with a dog, and
You and Chappelle and
no,
Tony.
That would be soon, hopefully. It was with my friend Noma Nosny, great French comic, who wants to do comedy in English now, but he's so funny in French, and he's trying to find a way to be as relatable to Americans. But again, it's really hard.
It is.
I
felt we haven't connected yet.
No, we're about to.
We're working on it.
Yeah, I would love to have that hat.
I feel like your guard's up.
No, man, it's just my leg. And with Cassie Sparkman, who was the manager at the Comedy Store for 3 years. She was the manager at Denver Comedy Works for 7. And she wanted to bring her dog to Denver from New York. And she knew about my project. She was like, we can hit a couple states on the way to Denver and on the way back. And would you like to do Idaho, Utah, Kentucky. Should I finish? Okay, I'll finish.
That's more of them?
Fucking
I thought you said
Arkansas,
3.
Colorado, and the last one is Oklahoma. Want to
Okay.
do those? I was like, hell yeah, let's do it.
You're so free. I mean, you're doing whatever you want.
Oh yeah,
You're just blowing in the wind, dude.
Yeah.
It's
been awesome.
Yeah. I mean, there's no wanting to settle down, no feeling like you need to put down roots or anything.
Well, that's why I need the fast, because we did that, and after like driving 8 hours a day, eating at gas stations, doing shows at night.
What's your go-to thing at a gas station?
I would grab a bottle of water and like a sandwich, whatever they have.
Okay.
Sometimes a pizza, but it's really bad.
Okay. Yeah, sorry to derail. So
it
you
was
just
too much bread. I felt bloated after the traveling, and
Yeah, you didn't feel good.
man, when you're driving 10 hours just to get to a show that doesn't have food, and then you're like, where do we get food? Everything's closed. It's a small town. Okay, cool. Well, gas station again.
Yeah, gas station is the...
And when I got back to Denver, a friend of mine texted me and was like, hey, man, you can stay at my place for 2 weeks by
Your friend
yourself.
is, I'm trying to think of a really famous Denver comedian because you just know everybody. It's so funny. You're like, yeah, I hang out with Chappelle.
Oh, yeah, no, my
friend Josh Blue.
No, Josh Blue Balls maybe, but not this one.
Hey, Josh Blue Balls.
It's Josh
over
Blue
here.
Balls. Yeah, no sex for 10 years. But yeah, my friend hit me up. He's not famous, but he will be.
I know a lot of people. You don't want to drop the name?
No, because it's his apartment. I don't want to,
I mean, no one's going to know where he lives. Just got to say his name.
Yeah, no, he knows who he is, right, Joe? And
well, I would like to know who this guy is.
yeah, it's my friend Joe. My friend Joe hit me up.
I'll bleep it out.
Yeah, Joe Bleep. And yeah, I mean, that's the French humor. It's annoying people.
It does. I mean, it's
Yeah.
working.
It's working. It's working. And yeah, it was like, you want to stay at my place for 2 weeks and just be by yourself? I was like, oh, cool. Hell yeah. Unexpected, out of the blue.
So a friend who's traveling.
Yeah.
A Denver comic that's traveling.
How do you know it's a
Interesting.
comic?
Oh, I thought you said it was a Denver. I guess I assumed
I
it
didn't
was.
say
Yeah.
shit. I ain't say shit. Don't.
Wow, is that your black voice you're doing right there?
No, that was
That
that was
was your
French.
That was your impression of Chappelle.
That was French. Yeah.
That ain't shit.
Yeah, French people do that.
Oh, interesting.
That is shit. And I wanted to detox from the gas station
Yeah,
tour, whatever. And
have you done that before? Where'd the
Yeah.
idea of water fasting come from?
Hawaii. A friend of mine bought me in Hawaii. You want to know my friend in Hawaii's name?
No.
Why not?
Well, because I won't know him. If it was a Denver comic, I thought I might know him.
That's terrible, man. You should
Yeah, I
be-
don't care about any Hawaiians. That's a firm stance on left hand, right
My
brain
friend Joe, and everybody's called Joe. My friend Joe in Hawaii.
Hey,
I
brother.
bumped. Cool.
Did he talk like that? Go, hey, cuz.
No,
hey, brother.
He's British.
Okay.
Yeah. My friend in Hawaii.
Who's British?
Yeah, it was British. Give me a bottle of something that's supposed to detox you. You take it doing a fast for 3 days. And he was like, I'll do it with you. I started
But in
it.
Hawaii.
Yeah. I started it. He didn't do it. So I just kept doing it.
To annoy him.
Not
Because
really.
that's your French humor.
Yeah, I wanted to annoy him because I thought it was funny to annoy people. I love that.
I could tell.
And he didn't do it, but I did it. I'm like, when I commit to something, I stay in, like, I'll do all 50 states. I don't know why I want to do 50. I could have gone like, I'll do 12 states.
I mean, it doesn't sound as good.
I was like, cool, I'll do 3 days. It felt so good afterwards. During it felt awful.
Everyone says the 3-day mark is you got to get to there and then you start feeling good.
They're right. Yeah.
How was it? How was the day and a half in?
Yeah, 3 days was useless, but I should have done, then I did 7 days, and 3 days in was awful. It was really hard. 4 days, still hard, but after the 4th day, you don't feel hunger anymore. But my mood swings, is that something you say? Mood swings?
Yeah, your emotion.
I'd be like happy, sad, happy, angry.
Interesting.
Whatever. Because
I've read lots of books on fasting and things like that.
Have you ever done it?
Yeah, I did. Well, I've done 3 days. 3 days, maybe 4 days on fasting. Yeah, no food at all.
I met you when I was 5 days in, and that day I don't want to talk to anyone.
Yeah, you seemed a little more prickly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because I got there. Jeff and Josh were setting up everything. I didn't have energy to help with the chairs, and Josh probably thought I was an asshole, which I am. But also,
we were both like, oh, he's French.
Yeah.
We were like, oh, that's...
Which is great.
That's French.
Sometimes I'm usually a nice guy, but that day I was like so dark and like trying to not eat anything, which is why I don't go out in public before 8 p.m. when I have a show. But that show, I had to be there at 3 because it was at 5. And I didn't have energy to set up any chairs. I just wanted to shit so bad, because you can't control it.
Oh, interesting.
And I was like, don't shit here, bro. It's, the place.
It's a nice bathroom.
It is.
If
I
you
was
had to
surprised.
shit somewhere
Oh,
on
I had
Broadway,
to.
that's not a bad one.
I had to 10 seconds before going on stage, so I told them, hold on, I'll be
Talking
right
about
back.
The new Mutiny on Inglewood.
Yeah.
Still on Broadway, but in Inglewood.
Great bathroom. I was surprised.
It's a very nice bathroom.
But when I saw the basement, I was like, usually the basement matches the bathroom. That is a saying here.
It's not a saying here, but it could be.
There's a saying that's like something
We're
matches
talking about toilets.
the carpet
Does the
matches the drapes.
The carpet matches the drapes. Yeah, it's like, do your pubes match your hair
cool.
color? But the bathroom matching, that could be something about your butthole, maybe.
Yeah,
Like,
I
do
don't
you
know.
bleach your butthole or
But
something?
I was like, the basement has to match the bathroom.
The bathroom.
When I got there, I was very surprised. Pictures of Elvis everywhere. I was like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah, Jim, big Elvis fan. Me
Elvis
too.
is watching me take a shit. That's
TCB,
awesome.
man.
What does that mean?
Taking care of business.
Hell yeah.
It was one of
TCB.
Elvis's catchphrases.
Hell yeah. There's a band in New Orleans called TBC. They're dope. The brass band. To be continued.
Interesting.
Different. But yeah, that day I was not feeling good. So you guys were like, oh, he's French.
Well, I
I'm like,
appreciate you.
oh, they think I'm French because they're American. Well, let's use a stereotype just to excuse it.
Yeah. So we just assume things because we're American?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, Yeah, what
It was
what
good.
were any big stereotypes coming back that you didn't understand, or any big cultural things when you first moved here? Because you didn't go to Hawaii right away.
No, I went to
Because that's not really America.
Philadelphia.
I mean, that's its own thing. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. I was in Philly, Philadelphia,
Okay.
in the hood. Yeah, I lived with the black
stereotype
family.
a lot more aggressive
I don't know.
in Philly.
I didn't-
From Colorado to Philly, I think aggressive. What did you find?
Well, that's the first Americans I met
Mhm,
was
mhm.
people in the hood in Philly.
When you say the hood, you mean
I lived in the
a
hood.
black neighborhood.
Yeah.
That's what you mean by
Oh
hood.
yeah.
Okay.
And that's that's one of my bits. I talk about that because I was from the woods, and I moved to the hood thinking it would be the same because there's 2 O's in it, and I thought it will be the same shit.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
There's not. I live by Temple University. Shout out. But yeah, I heard gunshots every night. If you live there, you hear them.
Yeah, you can hear that here.
Yeah. Here in this house?
Well, in the neighborhood.
Oh yeah. You live in the hood?
I mean, it's adjacent.
Oh,
it's
cool.
adjacent.
But I was in the hood.
Right.
Yeah. I wouldn't keep that hat if I was in the hood.
I mean, it's a very situationally appropriate hat. You know.
Hell yeah. And but I didn't know stereotypes. The one stereotype that my cousin told me before moving to the States was that Americans fart out loud in public.
French don't do that.
Well, no, but like loud, like, hey, I'm Steven, I'll be your waiter.
Okay.
You know, like that
Okay.
kind, like
Okay.
in restaurants. He was like, you'll see in restaurants, everybody farts. I was like, what?
Interesting.
What the fuck are you talking about? Other stereotypes was like people have guns everywhere, but that's kind
Yes
of
and
like,
no.
the first time I saw a gun, like for real in the streets was last week at the open mic on Colfax, Lions Lair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Someone showed you their gun
No, somebody tried to shoot someone.
at the Lions Lair?
We're right next to it at the corner store.
Yeah. At
We
the
didn't see what-
Walgreens.
Yeah. It was a Walgreens. We didn't see
Yeah,
what
there's a
was
Walgreens
happening.
on one end and there's a liquor store on the other.
Probably liquor store. When you look at Lions Lair, it was on the left.
Okay.
At
Yeah,
the
that's a
corner.
liquor store then.
So somebody tried to steal something, and somebody tried to tase him, and then someone else came out with a gun to get whatever the guy was stealing. And I was like, whoa. I was with Jeff, and Jeff was like, let's film this. I'm like, no, bro, let's go inside. Like, don't stay out.
Yeah, Jeff is an interesting guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got that
Adventure.
I'm an invincible white
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's not. So I
I guess he would have learned that day,
I
but
was
you
like,
saved him.
you come inside, and I mean,
Let that play
it's
out.
better to come inside, right? All right.
Yeah, I prefer.
Can we erase? Yeah.
I prefer.
Yeah. Erase that from your memories,
When was
guys?
the last time you had sex?
That's a great
Well, if
question.
you want to talk about it.
No, it's a great question.
Not during the water fast, I take it.
No, definitely not. But it's been a while.
But you've been introducing like juices and like not solid foods into your diet.
I just had a smoothie yesterday, and a smoothie today, and soups. I'm going liquid for a week.
Okay, for another week, huh?
Yeah. Today I had tofu with the soup. It was delicious. But there were chickpeas in there, and I was like, if I eat that, I can't do the podcast.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. But last time you
But,
had sex, you can't even remember.
I know. I can't remember. That's a great question. Yeah, it's been at least a while, bro.
At least a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I interviewed, Pete Lee?
No.
He's a comic.
Bobby Lee's butt.
Yeah, Pete
cousin?
Lee's been doing comedy for like 27 years, I think. He opened for Louis C.K. a lot.
Okay.
Super funny. Can you look him up? Because if anybody watches this, check out Pete Lee. So funny.
Okay. Not what I expected.
Yeah.
I expected him to look Asian.
I mean, Spike Lee?
No, I was thinking Bobby Lee.
Yeah, I know,
Bruce
but
Lee.
Spike Lee's not
Yeah.
Asian either.
Yeah. Well, he might have some in there.
Speaking of Spike Lee, first place I moved to was Spike Lee's dad's house in New York. I mean, I didn't move there because it was just musicians hanging out. But that's the first place I stayed at in New York.
Okay.
Is the house Spike Lee grew up in, because his dad is a jazz bass player, and I was friends with his son, Arnold Lee, Spike Lee's brother, and I played with Arnold a lot. He was a saxophonist.
Crazy.
It was
No, it's very fun.
crazy life, bro.
Man, you're doing it, man. So is it jazz that brought you over to the States?
Yeah, initially I met a jazz drummer from Philly in Paris, and I was like, "What?
Got to get over there.
I want to move wherever you're from." And he said Philly. I was like, "Fuck."
You knew there was a stereotype there?
I didn't know anything.
Then why'd
that's why
you
I
say
was like,
fuck?
Because I didn't know anything about it. I was so scared.
Sure.
Like, let's go. Because my dream was to go to New York, because my dad was born in New York.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was like my whole childhood, he would bring me back lifesavers, the candies,
Mm-hmm.
cherry ones. Anytime he would go to New York with my mom.
The worst candy, I'd say.
Really?
I mean, come on. You want like chocolate or something?
No, I love those.
You want lifesavers?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's a childhood memory.
Sure.
Like,
I mean, that's good. I'm just saying he could have brought you back a better candy. You know what I'm
but
saying?
they changed them. Now they're soft. Because people would
Yeah, they're
choke on
chewy.
them.
They're gummy.
Yeah.
Yeah. People
Why?
love a gummy in America. They don't like gummies, and you got gummy worms, gummy bears.
Yeah, we do have those. Smurfs.
No, Gummy Smurfs.
Yeah, you have them.
Not here. No.
I bought them last week.
Gummy Smurfs.
Yeah, check them out. 100%, bro. Gummy Smurfs. Boom.
Where'd you get them at a gas station?
Yeah, they had them at the gas station actually.
Okay, interesting. Well, these are the same people who make gummy bears.
Boom.
I mean, it's basically a gummy bear, but okay.
You were like, "Oh, that's a conspiracy."
Yeah, it's a French conspiracy. It wants to think there's gummy Smurfs.
They're so good, but I don't want gummy lifesavers.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Gummy and Smurfs, not lifesavers.
Yes.
Hard and lifesavers.
Hard lifesavers. I'm so sad they're gone, like almost completely gone.
I'm sure you could maybe find them somewhere.
New York, but they have the multi flavors. I don't want the other flavors.
So he gave you a pack of hard cherry ones.
More than a pack, like 3 packs for me, 3 packs for my brothers, and we would try to make them last until his next trip to New York the year after.
Wow. You'd make it last a year?
No, but we would try.
Right, yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'm having
that
this
is some-
special candy from New York, and that in my mind I wanted to move there because of that.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I read a lot of Craig Ferguson stuff. I really love Craig Ferguson. He started doing a podcast about a year ago, and I just like really got into listening to all his books.
Yeah.
But anyway, he talked about like drinking a root beer at like a bowling station. That was like, he was like, this is America. Like, this is how I got to get back to here.
I've never had root beer, and I don't even know what it's
you just
made of.
yucked his yum. And
yeah,
that's so funny.
What is it made of?
Root beer?
Yeah.
It's made from like ginger and like I think it's ginger root. How we can look? What is
Roots beer?
Root beer is typically made of the following ingredients: water, sugar, caramel, flavorings. Root beer can contain natural, artificial flavors such as vanilla, wintergreen, cinnamon, licorice, and sarsaparilla.
I don't even know what that is. Can you look what sarsaparilla?
Sassafras extract. Sarsaparilla is like I don't know what sarsaparilla is.
Well, we don't have to look up all the words.
Well, didn't you just ask me to do it?
No, I'm good. But yeah, root beer. I don't think
it's a soda. It's a beverage.
It's thick, right?
It's like a Coke, but it's called root beer.
But it's not sparkling.
It tastes different. Yeah, it's carbonated.
Yeah, I think I had it once. It was like thick.
Well,
people like it. I've never had Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew.
Yeah, well, I don't have any Mountain. My dad loved Mountain Dew. He would he had a case of Diet Mountain Dew in his back seat.
Diet?
Yeah, his whole life, my whole life.
Why diet? If you drink
less
something
sugar.
bad. If you drink something bad, just do it.
I mean, you want something sweet, but you don't want the sugar.
Yeah.
Anyway,
what was the question? Oh yeah, my hometown. There's nothing to do there.
Yeah. Well, the cherry lifesavers were what America was to you.
Yeah.
And I was saying Craig Ferguson had the same thing with root beer, and he immediately yucked his yum.
Yep. Maybe you'll
Which
be like,
I basically did to you. I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's the worst candy."
exactly. You did that to me earlier. You're like, fuck lifesavers. Can we say fuck, or do we have to go like?
No, it's whatever you want, buddy.
Oh.
This pod is whatever you make it.
That's very nice.
You're welcome. I'm an accommodating American.
Thank you so much, man. Most Americans have been actually really great.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I don't think you've had a bad experience.
I've had bad experiences. Yeah.
Okay. Would you care to share, or is it too traumatic?
Name a city. I'll tell you if it was good or bad. Denver. No, I've had a good time in Denver.
Okay, well, yeah, you've only been to 36 of the 50 countries, so maybe you could just tell me
50 countries? States.
50, yeah, sorry.
I've been to 34. Bad experience was in Little Rock,
Arkansas.
Yeah, that was rough. Because the club, we're at the comics condo, which can be good or bad, but it was okay.
That's a place you want to make sure the basement matches the bathroom.
Well, check it out. The guy who worked at the club cut the grass that day and didn't tell us. He put a hole in the lawnmower, and it was a gasoline lawnmower, right? And he put it back in the basement
of the condo.
Yeah, gasoline leak. It leaked everywhere. And when we get back to the condo that night, everything smelled like gasoline, and we didn't know where it was coming from because I've never seen a gasoline leak in a house. So we think it's gas. We're scared to light a match and shit. And then we go to the basement. It's like gasoline everywhere. And the whole house smelled like that the whole week. And the guy who owns the club, I won't name it because I would love to go back. It was such a great
Well,
experience.
we all know Little Rock, Arkansas. I'm sure we could narrow it down.
Yeah, it was great experience. Loved it. Didn't like the gasoline thing. Came and checked out what was going on. Looked at the floor. And I was like, oh yeah, I guess there's a little gas, whatever. And then he was like, you want me to pay you for your hotel? And the headliner was like, I'm good. Zach wanted a hotel. I'm like, that's not true. We agreed that we were going to complain together, right? He just let me
threw
go.
you under the bus.
Yeah. And I was like, I mean, yeah, I would. He's like, I'm paying you $50 to host and you want a hotel? I was like, I guess no. He's like, cool. Just open the windows. And then he left.
Okay.
I was like, yeah, that wasn't cool because I didn't have a car there.
Oh, you can't drive anyway.
I mean, I have a French license, but I don't really drive here because I haven't driven in 12 years. I don't want to take a chance, you know? But I would love to like take 3 months off, just get my license here and then boom. But yeah, I didn't have a car, so I couldn't get out anywhere. I would Uber, but any Uber there was 20 minutes away every time. Anywhere I would go, like you want to go out for breakfast, wait 20 minutes. Then you're at the breakfast place, you want to leave, Uber, 20 minutes again. And they would cancel a lot of times because like, oh, your ride is too short for me to want to help you. $7. I'm not going to drive 20 minutes to drive you for a minute or 5 minutes or whatever. So yeah, I felt really isolated there. The hang was not good. You know, sometimes the hang is great. The gig is shit, but the great
Yeah, I can
hang.
imagine your relationship with the headliner was a little soured by him throwing you under the bus.
It was okay. He was nice, but I was like, yeah, that's
I mean,
not
I'd
cool.
be mad at that guy.
Yeah, of
I'd be
course.
like, fuck that guy.
Yeah, I was not like fuck that guy, but because we had to work and I'm the host, so I have to make it work. But oh, Greeley. Speaking of, have you heard of Greeley, the comedy show, Cowtown? So I did it the second year, I think, the last year or whatever.
The comedy festival.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cowtown Comedy Festival. Terrible shows, great hang. Because my man Rudy brought all the comics from Denver to no audience, you know? And I was on Matt Cobo's show right before him. And that's where I met Matt. We got along, but also the whole day we're like, what? Why does he have a theater for like 4 people in the audience?
Right.
And we got on the better show where at the 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. where like 17 or 23 people were there. Woo! But the whole day we're like, this is we're trauma bonding right now is awesome because the hang was great. You know, it was like, let's not stay here, bro. Let's go to a Mexican place, have some beers, eat some tacos. And we talked for like 3 hours before doing the show. So that was fun. And I went to see Jeff Stonick because I was friends with Jeff. And I was like, I'll do this festival just to see you because I love him. He's
That's
really
very
cool.
nice. Yeah.
And yeah, so when the hang is great, but the show is bad, that's okay. But when the show is bad, the hang is bad, and the place you're staying at has gasoline in the basement, that's why I had a bad experience there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never gotten any risky situations with like someone trying to beat you up at a weird pool hall in Philly when you go there at midnight? You know, nothing like that. Never felt like your life was in danger. Maybe at Lions there.
No. One time driving, I did a show in Santa Fe, driving back to San Francisco. I think it was not Santa Fe. Sorry. See, I'm a tourist. I just named the place
you're
in
going
New
to a lot
Mexico.
of places. I wouldn't be able to know.
San Jose.
Okay.
Can you drive from San Jose to
I'm sure you could.
San Francisco?
Yeah.
Or somewhere near San Francisco. I did a show, drove back to San Francisco, and there was a drunk driver that was driving in our lane.
Coming here.
Facing us.
Yeah.
And the girl that was driving, I was with another comic, she was driving, and she just...
What was her name?
I can't remember her name. I love you. Thank you so much for saving my life. Because that was crazy. He's late at night driving so fast in our lane. And last second, she just turned right to get out of the road and back on the road. And I was like, did you just save our lives? But I didn't say that for 30 minutes. We just kept talking like nothing happened. And then 30 minutes later, I'm like, also, did you save our lives earlier? And she was like, yeah, I don't want to say it because I kind of freaked out. But what the fuck was he doing, you know?
Yeah, it's scary.
And that's the one thing where you're like, it goes so fast that you don't even realize you almost died.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the one thing where you're like, yo, I'm so lucky right now. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's more like when I stay with people and they don't really want you there. It feels weird. Like,
Right. Yeah.
sometimes my friends will be like, yo, you can stay on my couch for a week, no problem. But their roommates is like, I don't want this guy here. Well, it's my house too. I pay more rent, so I get to have my friends. Cool. I make an omelet at 4 a.m. every morning in front of him. Cool. So the guy would just make an omelet at 4 a.m. every morning in front of me with the lights on. I have an eye mask, but still.
Yeah, he's got to do his shit in his house.
Yeah. And he was like,
But it seemed aggressive.
And then make an omelet and then go to the gym, come back from the gym, clear the plates, clean everything, go to bed. And I was like, yeah, you feel unwanted,
Yeah.
you know? And he was not a bad person. It's just his house. And I understand.
Yeah.
Because when I had my house in New York, my roommates would invite people over. I was like, I don't want them.
Yeah.
I want to be able to
be comfortable in your own
be
space.
comfortable. I don't want to have tourists all the time or friends of friends. And, I missed out on making new friends because sometimes you make new friends.
Yeah.
But you just...
Yeah, you're not always feeling it.
No, not always. And
yeah. No, that's totally normal, I think. I mean, yeah, you have to be I don't know, you have to have like a good vibe to to do all the things you're doing and be out and meeting all these different people. I mean, you have to be very giving of your energy. I mean, doesn't that get exhausting, or how do you find getting along with, Chappelle and then find, people in Denver? Is it like different? You have to turn it on, you get exhausted. What's that experience been like?
No, I'm trying to be nice to everyone, regardless of like who they are.
Mhm.
But if I see after a couple minutes that you're just asking dumb questions and being mean even by accident, sometimes I meet girls and they
Even by
assume,
accident.
sometimes I meet girls that are comics too, and they assume that I'm
You're a playboy Frenchman. Yeah.
Like the other day, I met a girl who was on the show with me, and I was like, "Hey, nice to meet you." She's like, "My dad hates French people."
Okay.
Oh, cool. Your
interesting.
dad hates French people, so nice to meet you. Bye.
You don't want to say their name?
No,
Okay.
but yeah, I
Fine.
don't need to.
Yeah,
But is
I
that-
will. I'll figure it out.
But
And
that's
I'll
not
put
cool.
it in. I'll put it in.
Yeah, but that's not cool.
Sure. Yeah. I guess that's not fun.
And if you're trying to be funny, it didn't work, so you're forgiven. But sometimes people don't do it on purpose. So
Right.
at the end of the day, I wanted to fast so I could forget everyone and everything that happened and just reset. I felt like
Interesting.
I was resetting. But if you met me during my fast, I didn't have patience for that.
Yeah. It's hard.
But it's so much energy, and I'm lucky I have friends that are like, have my apartment for a week, or I'm out of town, you can come to this place, whatever. I've met people that are so generous, like they would be like, yo, come to our house, we'll fly you, and I can't accept it because it's too much. It's so nice, but also
Yeah, it's a little much.
we'll fly you to come relax. I'm like, thanks, but I can't accept it. I just have to find it
Interesting.
myself.
Interesting to have boundaries, I guess you got to feel
I don't want
I
to
don't know, feel good
abuse people's abuse.
goodwill.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
So I wanted to have a human experience in
Uh-huh.
America, because you hear stereotypes, you hear this, but once you're here, it's different.
Yeah, I can't imagine, man. It has to be so scary. I mean, how'd you get the courage to come from, you said you were the guy said he, lives in Philly, and you're like, okay, I know nothing about that.
It was because he's so great that I was like, if I follow a great path, I'll become great.
He was so good at what he did, or he was a
So
nice
good.
guy?
No, so good at what he did,
Okay.
and such a nice guy too.
Okay, yeah.
You
So I was
don't
like, yeah, you're talented, but if I didn't feel comfortable with him, I wouldn't want to
Yeah.
put myself in a position to get taken
It's my
advantage
friend
of.
Justin Faulkner. You could play one of his videos on YouTube. He's so good at drumming. He's such a great drummer. Shout out to Justin Faulkner. That I was like, if I follow this guy, I'll be fine. And I've been fine.
I mean, when was the last time you saw him?
I was on the phone yesterday with him for 3 hours.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
It's nice that you've stayed close.
Oh, he's one of my best friends, if not my best friend. I don't believe in best friend or worst friend. If he's your friend,
No.
he's your friend,
Well, I think there are people who I'm closer with and have a better relationship with.
Right.
Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts and thinking a lot about friendship
Mm-hmm.
and like what it is to be a good friend and like how do you be a good friend to people. I mean, talking 3 hours on the phone, I think that's pretty good. That's a pretty good indicator of
I
the
feel
friendship.
Like, yeah. To me, a friend is just a reflection of who you are. You know. Does that make sense? Is that too deep? Plus profond? Is that trop profond? Too profound? That's too deep.
Yeah, you're getting too profound in this pod right here.
Yeah.
No, because I was thinking, the example I heard on a podcast was a guy saying like, oh, I had a friend whose family member died, and they're like, they reached out to him, they texted him, hey, I know you're probably getting a lot of people getting at you right now. You got a lot of things going on. So just so you know, I'm here for you, and I'm going to call you every day at 9:30. And if you can answer, that's great. I'm here for you. Let's talk or whatever. If you can't, that's fine. And then he called him for like 8 months at 9:30 every day. And sometimes they talked, sometimes they didn't, it's whatever. He just made space to have this person in their life. And I think that's a very good example of like being a good friend, is like showing up for this person in their life.
That's crazy because I would have blocked him right away.
Oh, really? You wouldn't want to talk to somebody?
Too intense. No.
That's too intense?
Yeah.
Because of the death of a family member?
Yeah, that's too much. But that's, I wouldn't like that.
Yeah, but yeah. But
I'd
that's
be like, nah, bro, don't do that. Like,
What would you prefer? What would you like a good friend to do?
No, I have a story actually, because my uncle passed away. He's 34. My grandpa had a kid a year before I was born. So I had an uncle that was almost my age.
Yeah.
Like a year older than me. And he took his own life recently.
I'm sorry.
Right? Thanks, man. Can you call me every day at 9:30?
Well, I don't know if we're that close. And you just said you don't want that. So
no, I don't want that because I went to Paris to his funeral, right? And a friend who's a comedian in New York saw that I was in Paris, and he sent me a message. He was like, hey, man, I'm sorry to hear about your uncle. I was like, thank you. And then he kept going. He was like, are you in Paris? I said, yes. He was like, well, my girlfriend's birthday is next week. Could you bring us back some macaroons? And I was like, yo, that's perfect. Because I was like, no, but that was
it's
nice
like funny.
Try.
Or was he trying to be funny, or was it?
He was funny by accident, I think. He
yeah,
was very serious about the macaroons.
Yeah.
But I wish it was just a joke because that was funny.
Yeah.
It made me laugh because it was
Sure.
like no
It's
boundaries.
a breaking of the tension, like
Yeah.
you were talking about with your comedy.
Yeah. I love that so much.
But you wouldn't want somebody to reach out and be like, hey, man, if you really need to talk.
Oh, no. A lot of people reached out and said,
Sure.
don't hesitate, And I was like, thank you so much. But just knowing, I've had so many messages after he passed away, like for 2 weeks, like Kazi, the manager of the seller that went on tour with us. She knows I love chicken wings. And that night she got me chicken wings delivered to where I was staying in New York.
Wow. Yeah, that is very nice.
So nice.
That is very nice.
And so, yeah, that's the kind of gestures that I was like not expecting.
Mm-hmm.
My friend Lisa let me stay at her place for like 2 weeks because I was not feeling good. She was like, just stay there. It's okay. Don't worry.
Yeah. Well, yeah. These, those are good friends. Those are good deeds
wonderful.
as well. Yeah. The phone call thing, I think, resonated with me because I do love talking. I mean, that's one of the reasons I do on the podcast and everything. I love a good conversation, so that means something to me.
Of course, I was
not that the other things don't mean things to you.
No,
I
was kidding, but my friend Caleb and Emma, I was in Paris for the funeral, and they sent us money on Venmo just for me to take my brother out to lunch.
Oh wow!
And I was like, "This is so
these
nice.
are all very nice things." Yeah.
And unexpected, so nice. Sorry if I forgot.
No, I don't think any
other people, but
there's a lot going on, and I mean, I think it's a testament to how good of a friend you are to people that people are reaching out and doing these gestures. They're so nice.
Yeah, I know you can't tell because my sense of humor is annoying.
I know.
People.
Well, you're fasting right now, so it's a little off or whatever. But no, I mean, it's crazy. It has to be.
No, I've had so many beautiful moments that have nothing to do with like famous people or, it's just knowing.
But it means more when it comes from Chappelle,
of course. Yeah, yeah, and you're doing
the RZA from Wu-Tang, whatever.
Jizza was there. RZA was not there.
Okay,
yeah,
well,
but
I guess you know who my favorite is.
Yeah, and there's the drummer who's the nephew of Old Dirty Bastard. Really cool guy. We talked about drums for a while. But really, I didn't know what I was doing there. I'm like the French guy wearing stripes in the middle of a Wu-Tang Clan party at Dave Chappelle's house. I was
Yeah,
like,
what a crazy way. Like,
I didn't know what to do, bro. I was
I
just
mean,
like,
I wouldn't know what to do either.
yeah, I was like, cool, enjoy the moment. Also,
Sure.
what the fuck are you doing here? You know, it's like being in a Star Wars movie. Like, I'd love to be there, but also you
They're
just
aliens to
Yeah,
you. That
yeah.
is so funny.
Yeah, I was like, that's cool. Who am I in this movie? You know,
well, you're not Han Solo. Let's just
no,
say that.
100%. I was like, maybe I'm just a stormtrooper and just stay there, and you're in the movie.
Interesting. Yeah, it's an interesting analogy.
Yeah, you'll see your name in
I
the
would have said
credits.
Chewbacca, but you know,
That's too big of a role. I didn't have anything to do
well, you're
with the
there.
party.
You talk a language they don't understand.
Sure.
You're hairy. You know,
Yeah.
French people very hairy. That's a stereotype. What do you think?
Oh, that's crazy. I mean,
Is it crazy?
I've seen more
Hair.
hairy women in the States than because it became a trend here.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so I've seen more women with hair in the States than in France. Because in France, all my girlfriends were shaving,
Yeah, I think it's a generational thing. I think they're, you know, it
except for
comes in
their
waves.
balls. They kept their balls, and
Gotcha.
yeah.
I wasn't gonna make a gay joke. I don't know why
Yeah,
you're so
you were
defensive
going
about
to.
it.
I felt it.
was not
I was like,
gonna.
I'll do it for you.
That's really not my MO. I don't know.
I've never finished a sentence where nobody went like,
It's like,
"Oh, that's gay."
oh, gay.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But wow. Yeah, you've gone on a journey.
What was the
so you're
question?
just shooting all these things on your phone.
Yeah,
You saving it on a hard drive where you're taking,
course,
I mean,
yeah.
how much is on?
I have so much footage from 34 states. I mean, there's things that I've already seen. Like, you know, I'm trying to find a way to how can I depict this whole thing without making it too long and too specific. So that's what I'm working on right now is finding a problem that I'm trying to solve because you know every book is about a problem, every story is about not really a problem that
Yeah,
you
but
can
yeah,
see.
what's your,
But that's
your
how you-
theme or whatever.
Sorry, that's how you keep people's attention.
Yeah, yeah.
It's having something. What am I trying to show,
Yeah, yeah.
and how do I keep?
What is this about?
Yeah.
Then there's no like deadline. There's no like I have to get to all 50 states by the end of the year.
No, because I
You're
found
just totally going.
I found a production company a year ago, and they wanted me to finish.
Yeah, because usually there's a deadline. You know, like when
and
you're
I
doing
don't
a project.
want that.
Yeah.
Again, after the pandemic, you know, I was so scared during the pandemic because,
Well, you're on an island.
yeah, but before that, my mom had brain cancer, and when that happened, I was like, oh, I need to be there for that, you know? And you put your dream on the side for a little bit, take care of her, and I'm like, yeah, I'm ready now, and boom, pandemic. Oh, I can't do anything
You mean
anymore.
she passed and that was, or did she get better?
She's okay now.
Okay, good.
She's
Okay, yeah.
80% handicapped, which she can't do much, you know? She can just walk and stand up, but she needs help every day.
Sure.
And no, I'm really happy she's here. But
Yeah, yeah.
after she got a little better, I was like, cool, I can go back now.
Yeah,
Boom.
yeah.
And boom, pandemic. I was like, oh no. So I had to wait like 5 years really because the pandemic was not just a year long. It was kind of like 2 years to get back to, and it still has changed. A lot of
it's
cities
different
have
now.
changed so much. And I was like, what does America look like after the pandemic comedy wise?
Interesting.
So I went everywhere and started interviewing famous comics.
Yeah.
But
So
that-
I won't get interviewed, is what you're saying.
You are in it right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And to sign a,
Yeah.
a
If you
release.
sign a release and I keep the footage, but we can use that.
This is HD right here.
Perfect.
60.
If you want to, I can use
Sure,
some
I
of
can
the
give it to you.
footage. Yeah.
You can have it, and you can do with it what you will.
Thanks, man.
It'll also be on YouTube.
Thanks, man. And I was like, maybe that could be the angle. What is America after the pandemic?
Sure.
You know?
Still trying to find it.
Yeah. And I was surprised because at first I wanted to do Couchsurfing to all 50 states, doing open mics, getting booked on shows from that, and also only use public transportation. That I stopped
Yeah,
really
wow.
quickly. Yeah, because I almost got murdered so many times on the bus. Like, have you ever taken the subway in LA?
No.
Most people don't even know there's a subway. I know because I stayed in Long Beach and I would have to get on the subway there, which is at first not underground, it's above ground, and then it becomes underground. But I would take it from Long Beach to go to LA, and sometimes just to go to a show, it would take an hour, 40 minutes. and the people that were on the train were so aggressive and trying to like.
Yeah,
fuck
see, this
with
is what
me.
I was talking about. Like the scary situations. Like
I forget, man, because
and you told me about fucking.
I forget because I'm trying to be positive
Yeah,
about the whole
yeah, yeah.
experience, so your brain goes like, oh,
Sure.
happy.
Yeah, it's a
But-
safety mechanism.
Yeah, that's why I was like, name a city. Because if you
Okay.
name it, I'm like, cool. Oh, okay, I can't remember now.
Yeah. So yeah, there's you. It was a frightening
Yeah,
situation.
everybody
on
like
the,
every time, and I would come back to Long Beach at like 1 a.m. or late. I would take the last metro, subway, whatever they call it there, and get to Long Beach, but try to time my Uber ride to the apartment so
Yeah,
I wouldn't have to stay at the train station too long because people there were creepy, bro. But like
drugs, trying
drugs, knives,
trying to get, trying to
scary.
rob you.
Nobody's ever tried.
But you've been on guard.
Knock on wood, but
Yeah.
I'm like running to the Uber. I'm not walking.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You got to protect yourself. I get it.
Um,
You can't be just Jeff Sonic in it, just walking around.
no,
thinking
because if
nothing's gonna happen.
if you do that, you'll end up with a
Get-
shaky camera. Private joke. Inside joke.
Inside joke,
Let's
yeah,
do it again. Inside joke.
Between you and Jeff.
Between you and me.
Oh, shaky camera.
Yeah.
I'll
No,
have to
because
go back.
he took footage of Rory Scovel at the High Plains Festival,
Uh-huh.
but it was last minute, so he was shaking a lot. He was far, couldn't see what he was filming, and Rory posted the video. Ooh, it's so shaky, and everybody it was like, what the fuck? And I wrote a comment that said, "Is the guy filming the same guy that was at Trump's rally in Philadelphia?" And everybody liked it. And Jeff was like, what the fuck, dude? I just give you a ride home. And yeah, that was one of my favorite jokes is just a comment on a video.
No, it's fun. So you're having a good time. Seems like, you've had some scary situations, but you're
Yeah.
overall staying positive.
Yeah, I mean,
It's crazy, man.
the last one I was going to talk about is I stayed in an RV in the ghetto of Phoenix because I was supposed to stay with a comic. Last minute, she had to cancel because their dad was at her house and it was afraid of COVID back then.
Okay.
So she was like, sorry, and I can't afford much. I don't have much money. I teach French online to be able to do that.
Okay, interesting.
And like from my phone, from my computer, sometimes just on the phone. I love my students. They're awesome. Shout out. Love you guys.
Yeah, tell them about this podcast and they can listen to it in English.
Yeah. No.
Or you're teaching French. You're not
I'm
teaching
teaching
it.
them French,
Okay,
yeah.
sorry.
But
Maybe you could dub it and you could have your grandma dub it in French.
Exactly. That'd be dope. With a goose accent.
Yeah, goose accent.
And yeah, in Phoenix, I was like, cool, last minute booking. Whatever I could afford was an RV in a kind of RV park in the hood. I didn't know it was the hood. I figured really quickly.
Mhm.
Because
Most RV parks are the hood, just so you know.
Well, I didn't know. I found out the second night when I heard like AK-47 just shooting at someone right next door, and I had to get on the ground, and I slept on the floor that night. On the ground, on the floor of the RV.
The RV, yeah.
I was so scared, and the next day everybody's like, "Hey, how are you?" I'm like, "Yo, did you not hear this shit? Like, who died?" And people are so used to it here,
Yeah.
But yeah, there's so many situations, but here in America, you just blocked it off.
Yeah, I mean, something I hadn't thought about in a long time, but I just your story made me remember is I used to live downtown.
Yeah.
I rented a room when I first got here to Denver, and I was going to college, and my room was like right above on the second level, right next to this alleyway, and someone did straight up pull up because I was like watching TV. My window was right off to the side here, and I could see out my window, and this guy pulled up, got out, shot 2 times across the street, got in, ran away, and drove off.
You saw it.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I don't recall if anyone was over there, what was happening, but I just kept watching my show
Yeah, that's why I left New Orleans, bro.
and lived
'cause-
my life till just now.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? How you like I left New Orleans because my neighbor got killed. I heard the gunshot. My neighbor from the other side texted me, "Don't go outside. It's not fireworks."
That's funny.
And yeah, because I have a joke about living in the hood and thinking at first it's
In the
fireworks.
woods.
And I was like, what are they celebrating in the woods? And he's like, don't go outside. It's not fireworks. And I found out the guy died, and I was like, yeah, I can't stay here anymore.
Well, people die,
Yeah, but
unfortunately.
I don't like that.
Sure.
I don't
get
like
it.
hearing gunshots.
You didn't like hunt in the woods or anything? I guess you made it sound so rural.
My
that, like,
grandpa would
people
hunt
were-
every Sunday and bring dinner.
What was it?
Pig.
Oh, pheasant.
Peasant. There you go.
Yeah. I got it,
Yeah, I didn't know it was the same word. That's great.
Oh, okay.
You can
I
understand.
mean, I'd assume it was pheasant. I don't know if it was.
It is, yeah.
Might be
It's
something
the bird,
else.
right?
Yeah, bird. Yeah.
But you'd have to remove the bullets.
The buckshots. Yeah.
The buckshots. Because it was like, why is it so crunchy?
Yeah. Your teeth are going to break before that bullet
Yeah.
does.
Yeah, that was kind of. I always wanted to go, but my mom didn't want me to go.
Oh, interesting. You never shot a gun, no interest?
Never tried. Only Grand Theft Auto.
That could be something for the documentary. That'd be an interesting one.
I have a friend that anytime his girlfriend pisses him off, he goes to the shooting range.
Whoa. That does seem aggressive.
They're about to get married.
Well, I guess she knows what she's getting into. That's well, she probably knows how to use a gun too. Just
I don't know.
I mean, it's not gender specific here,
Mhm. You can bring your own target. He brings
Both
a
my
picture of
sisters
her.
have their concealed carry license. I found out this
Wow.
year. Yeah, I guess they feel unsafe. Oh, I'm from Greeley, so when you talked about Greeley, I
Ah,
wanted to see what you'd say before I let you know. But
were you at the festival?
no, I never got. I don't know Rudy. I left Greeley before I started doing comedy, so I don't really know
Oh.
him that well. And
Is he there still?
I don't know. Again, I never got to know him. I guess you didn't let me finish.
Go ahead, bro. I'll let you finish.
No, I never knew him, and I don't know him. So
Okay. Is that the end?
yeah.
See, sometimes you don't have to finish.
That's not what she said.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
So it's been a while, huh?
For what?
Sex for you.
Oh, you're back at this?
Well,
yeah,
we like
man.
to
I'll
go-
just play. I play Dominion on my phone. You know that game?
No.
Yeah, you're having sex.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Interesting.
you're having sex. I'm playing Dominion. Once I start having sex
Okay.
again, I'll stop playing the game.
Hmm.
It's a card game.
You don't think it's playing is affecting your
Yeah, because
social
I don't want to
thing?
go out and hit on someone.
Okay.
'Cause you have to hit on people if you want to. Yeah.
It sounds aggressive when you say it like that. But you
I
seem like a
mean-
charming, social guy. It doesn't seem like you'd have too much.
Oh
Too
yeah,
much trouble.
But when you see the cute French guy with an accent, he's a threat. Don't want to talk.
The women think that, or men?
No, people like men think, oh, you're French, so you fuck all the time.
Yeah, that's what I would assume.
That's why I mentioned Pete Lee earlier because he was like, oh, you're traveling so much, you must have so much sex. No,
Mm.
I'm a threat. People are like, he's French. That means he's, But American guys are like, oh, he's French. He's having sex all the time. So
But women
girls,
are more guarded.
girls think, oh, he's French, so he's having sex all the time too. And you end up being like, okay, well, I guess I'm not. Stereotype is wrong. Please have sex with me. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're getting to at this podcast.
Yeah. I mean, sex is fun. I've had enough. I know
All
how
right,
it
well,
works.
that's good.
I want to learn
good.
comedy.
Yeah,
I wanna
he
learn
doesn't like
music.
watching movies about sex either. Just
No, I don't mind a movie.
just documentaries.
Yeah, just documentaries about sex. Yeah, that's my favorite part.
All right, man. Well, thanks so much for taking the time.
Yeah, of course,
for
man.
coming. I think it took a little bit of time for us to start vibing, but I think we
Yeah.
got there.
Yeah. You wanna
to
start
me, a conversation is like jazz.
You want to start recording now?
No, I think next time you get here, we'll record something.
Okay, I'll hope to do it sometime.
Like sex?
No, the fucking thing here. If it's sex, we should film.
Yeah, that's what the documentary is, huh?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's what it turns into. Is just the sex thing.
Yeah.
It just turns into a porn.
I mean, people are
You could
watching
probably
now.
make more money off of it.
I thought about the feet pics, making money, but I'm like, I'm not ready for this.
I mean, I guess do you have like a following? Would you say you have? I mean, you got a lot of followers here on Instagram, so you
I don't
might be
have an
able to
OnlyFans.
get. Yeah, I said Instagram, but
Yeah.
you might be able to pull from your comedy following
Yeah,
to
no.
get some.
I don't think I want to do that.
But you might have more success than just someone
I
who doesn't
mean,
have as many followers.
You
as
never
do.
know.
You never know.
But sometimes when you're like, oh, I need to make more money, you think about the options that don't require you to work.
Mhm.
And taking pictures of your feet, like, how much? Maybe. No.
Maybe.
Still won't do it. Sorry, gentlemen.
You think it'd only be gentlemen who want your feet pics?
yeah, I know you guys.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Jeff, shout out.
Stonic?
Yeah,
He's buying feet pics
hell yeah,
on Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay, wow. I'll have to talk to him about that next week.
hell yeah. Please open with that.
Yeah, I'll tell him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be great.
Yeah, so I appreciate you coming in.
My
where
pressure.
can people find you? Where can people
You can find me on 11th Street in Alcott. Okay.
well, maybe not your physical address, but
Okay.
where they could see you performing.
Instagram Zach Mama ZACH_ Mama MAMA. People ask me how to spell Mama every time. I'm like,
Well, Americans are dumb.
I didn't want to say that. Thank you for saying it.
You're welcome.
But thanks for having me, and see you guys soon.
Yeah. Wakanda forever, be excellent to each other, and yeah, we'll see you on the next
Hell yeah.
Left Hand Right Brain.